Excuse me?
Nice home.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you. So we got a call today from Miss Bishop about an incident that took place in Golden Valley during the sheriff's debate.
Okay.
Do you want to give a statement to me on as far as what happened? Because she obviously called. I have her side of the story. Obviously, it's my due diligence to come get the other party's statement, and that's why I'm here.
Sure, you bet.
So. And you could go all the way from the very beginning.
Can I?
Yeah,
Okay,
and take your time. And take your time.
Well, this goes way back. And,
Sure.
You know, I mean,
Sure,
and it's not that this caused it, but this gives you a little bit of background.
Yeah.
I used to work for her a long time ago, and I stopped and worked for someone else because I want to run for that position.
Cool.
She has had problems with me since then. She wasn't real happy that I did that at all. And so she just quit talking to me, everything. She even flipped me off at work. I tried to tell HR about it. They denied it. It's just very hostile at work. It's very difficult around her.
Okay.
Well, at this meeting, it was a sheriff debate, which was really good. And they were filming it and all this stuff, and a lot of people were there, and she was there at the other end. And she kept looking and looking, and I'm just, you know, I don't want any problems. I'm just there for myself, too, as a candidate. And someone came up to me and said, Marianne, Jean just came up to me and said, F you better stop lying and da-da-da and all these different things. And I'm looking, and she's over there, Jean, talking to Danielle, and she's yelling at Danielle. And so I start looking with my phone like this, because she keeps saying we're lying about all these different things. So I'm taking my phone like this, thinking I'm taking a video, which I never was. It was on camera. And I walk up to her and I go, Jean, why are you telling people, excuse me, fuck you? I said, why are you doing this? She goes, I never said that. And I go, Jean, you were so good at this. And she got in my face right here, this close, and she's looking like this. And I couldn't believe it.
She was trying to provoke her.
She's trying to provoke me. She's here. I have witnesses. And I had my phone, and she goes like this. I didn't know what she was going to do, so I take her hand, and I go like that. And I said, Jean, stop. And I went like this. And I did touch her. Very gentle. I mean, because I worked for her for how many years? I'm like, Jean, stop. And the lady behind her started instigating. I don't know who she was. She started yelling and saying, don't you put your hands on her. And I'm like, what? She goes, don't you touch me. And I'm like, it was like they were trying to instigate. And so finally Danielle's like, ladies, what is going on? And Jean and I are back like this again, because I'm watching her. I could see her, she's talking to me like this through her teeth. She was so upset. And then that lady said, Jean, if we don't leave, I'm going to end up in jail. We need to leave now. And then they walked away.
Okay.
That's what happened.
Pretty straightforward.
I have nothing to hide.
No, that's fine. And like I said, she did contact us. So they sent me to get the statements. I'm the shift sergeant at night. But I guess she's saying that when you grabbed her, you reached around, locked your fingers, and then pulled her in. Which, that's what everything else matches pretty much on what she said. So that's the only.
Give it to you.
Oh, be easy on him. He just said, sorry, go.
I'm going to touch you a minute.
You're fine.
That's exactly how I touched her.
And that's fine. And like I said, that's why
exactly how I
I come to
touched
get
her.
the other side, because we just can't go off one
I
state.
think I was told that she asked, Sheriff Schuster was there because it was debate. And I was told that she went up to him and asked him to arrest me. And that he said he wasn't going to, no, I'm not doing it. And I look over there and he's hugging her. And
so this is simply just for documentation because she called.
sure.
There's no prosecution desired.
Okay.
It's just something for us to have in our records in case something else happens, right?
Well, let me tell you that I'm going to go back a little bit more.
Sure.
Okay. I had elected officials coming to me even a year ago, saying that Jean was going to them and asking, well, were you supporting Marianne and this and that, to where it was obsessive and she would get mad at them.
Dude, I'm telling you this right now. I just lived through a whole year of Jean harassing my wife, okay? I've lived through it, and I'm just going to tell you, my credibility is pretty high. I'm going to tell you that I've seen this, and she comes home and we talk about it at that table, and it happens
Constant.
I'd say at least once a week there's an incident.
And she makes herself the victim, and I try to just be cool at work and just do my job.
And it's all because, listen, it's all because she worked for Gene for a long time, and Gene is not a moral person. She sat in there in her office, dude.
We don't need to
Listen. She sat in her office day by day while Marianne was her admin, running District 4, and Gene's inside on Facebook.
She trolls Facebook all day long.
Oh,
That's all she does. And she hates Golden Valley.
She'd come home and be like, I'm running District 4, and Gene's in there on Facebook all day. And I'm like, what?
She hates Golden Valley.
So when she quit,
And that right there, I don't even know why she went today, because all the people that she hates, that she does
has
not
nothing else
like,
to do
were
but
there.
stir.
She shouldn't have gone, because she went to 3 different people saying something. Danielle, who's a sweetheart, who is in her probably.
So that's the other
middle,
person I
late
have to
20s.
talk to, just because it's the only the witness I have.
Danielle Ohle,
Heck or something like
Ohle-Keck,
right?
Keck Ohle. Yeah, she's in Golden Valley. She's smart. All she's trying to do is get people together as a voice. They were against something on an agenda.
Gene's trying to stop her.
They were very professional about it. I was so proud of them in Golden Valley, for Golden Valley, really.
Sure.
How they handled it at the BOS meeting. They were organized. They just said statements, no, we don't want this. And Jean went up to Danielle. Danielle told me afterwards, and Danielle said to her, you are not an elected official. You need to stop this shit. What are you doing? And Danielle's like, well, I wanted to thank you for what? No, you don't want to thank me. And just started yelling at her. And that's when I went up there and I'm like, I was going to tape it because she keeps saying she doesn't do these things. And I don't know why. Maybe
So
God
it's-
doesn't want me to, but I think I hit video and I don't.
So
Do
when
you have any?
Travis,
Do you have? So you actually didn't get any recordings?
I wish I did.
Okay.
I wish I
when
I
Travis
thought I
got
did.
elected, it was her chance to get out. We couldn't leave the insurance. She couldn't quit from Gene. So she stayed with Gene for as long as she could, and then when
The
Travis
county
got
since
elected,
2008.
she went to work for Travis.
Long time.
It's a long time.
She went to work for District 1, and that's when Gene started the war, okay? And Gene's been attacking her ever since she's been working for Lingenfelter, running District 1. So, but Marianne's motive was to run for District 4 all along, and Gene knew that. And Marianne's whole idea, what she told Gene when she said she was leaving is, hey, I think it's a conflict of interest to be working for District 4 and paid for as an admin for District 4 and be running for District 4 office.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
so Marianne left and went to District 1, so she works, and then when she campaigns, she takes PTO, she signs off, goes on her PTO, does her campaign events and stuff like that, and comes back and goes to work for District 1 again, because she's running for District 4. But the bottom line is, I've seen the evil. It's evil. It's seriously, the lady had a voodoo doll in her office that she would punch and do things to.
She was sitting, I swear to you, it wasn't,
serious.
listen, let me talk. It wasn't the big doll one that they were joking with that Hildy gave them that they called it therapy dolls. It was a real little voodoo doll that she had. It was in a box, I swear. And she would get it out and she took a pin and I didn't know what to do. She's sitting there and she'd say, Steve Robinson, Hildy Angus, and she'd sit there and poke it and I'm like, gee. And she had it in her drawer, the left top drawer.
Okay.
Now, I went to HR because I said, I'm concerned. There's some weird stuff going on
Dude,
here.
she's so crazy that when her husband blew his own head off,
Honey, it's not good. He's not here, and I liked him a lot.
Me too. I liked him a lot too.
But I went to HR and I said, and I did an email, and I said, I want this in writing because I'm concerned. So many people are coming to me saying, Marianne, she's obsessed with you. You know, da da da
She
da.
was.
And I said, if something happens to me, I want people to look into this history. And I just wanted it on record. It went to HR. HR called me in the office with Sam Elters and
Marianne's
said,
winning this campaign.
Honey, please.
It is pissing off Gene.
please, I love you. I know you mean well. Let me talk. I was in, Sam Elters called me in his office with Ken Cunningham. Yeah. the director of HR, and they said, well, Marianne, Jean's saying she didn't do those things. She never flipped you off. And I said, well, of course she's going to say that. And she walked, oh, I don't want to do it. She walked by my desk and did that. And I was like, and I saw her in the doorway. I said, Jean, did you just really flip me off? She goes, I don't know what you're talking about. And she walked away. And that's when I went straight up to HR. She went to HR to complain about me. So then that next day is when I got called into the office, and they said, Marianne, we have to call in a third party to investigate this. And he said, we've talked to a few people here in the suite. Which do you need that?
You're fine. I can multitask.
Which all of them said, I used to be dispatched.
Cool. Oh, I didn't know that. For us or the city?
For you.
Cool.
Yeah. So,
well, I think before you were an officer, what year was that?
2008.
Okay.
2009.
Long time out. I mean, I wasn't a cop till 2015, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
so.
that's when I was with
BOS. Cool.
Anyway, so lost my train of thought.
I'll turn it down for you.
No. Oh yeah, so I'm in there, and I had talked to the people before, and they would even come to me, some of the people that work there, and say, Marianne, you should hear the things she's saying about you. And I'm like, I know. Well, when it got to the point where they called them in and said, is there a problem with Marianne and Jean? Is Jean being a certain way to Marianne? They all said no. They all said no. And I told Sam, I said, Sam, you know what? They're afraid of retaliation. I get it. I understand. I'm not going to push it. And I went to each one of them after, and I said, you know, I had to meet with them, and they said that you all said no. I said, I just want to let you know, I understand. You need your job. You're afraid. I understand. And they're like, Marianne. I said, I'm dropping it. It's okay.
How long ago was that?
Last year.
That was last year. Okay.
And it's all on record. It's all HR, because I made sure and put it, I typed it all and sent it.
I was telling her to get everything documented that she could at HR when stuff was happening in the office, and
she'll deny it because Jean denies it. She's not stupid. She stood there and looked at me, and she knew she shouldn't be doing this to Danielle. She shouldn't have been doing that to Leslie. And there was probably at least 4 witnesses that saw everything that happened.
Dude, let me just tell you what I know on the record is that what I see in here is harassment from Jean Bishop to everybody else. Okay? That's in essence the whole core of this. And then all you're seeing is the shit from it.
And she tries to use her power as past law enforcement to cause problems for people.
She doesn't have any power.
No, she thinks she calls us all underlings. She said she's just as important as the governor, her words. I'm sorry, since Dan has passed, she has changed. She has gotten over the edge. And I don't need that on record. That's just something for me to you. I'm telling you the truth.
Okay. Like I said,
I know, I'm
didn't
sorry.
mean to ruin your evening, but like I said, I just got to get the statement, so I get this typed up and let it go. So obviously there's a conflicting part in the story, but
well, I was wondering, am I going to have a job Monday when I go to work?
no, this is just documentation. There's no prosecution. Obviously, if somebody calls the sheriff's office, we got to type on it.
I figured she would do something. I knew she would do something because she was asking Doug Schuster to
but no, there's no arrest. So obviously, you guys are going to stay away from each other. So I would just suggest that, as much as you can.
But when she's
works
in
in
my
the same
face
office.
right here,
Correct.
I just, and her hand goes like this, of course I go like this.
Gotcha.
And I was like, gee.
Okay. Yeah.
She said I did this.
Switched it.
My wife would never do that, dude.
We'll type it up and be on our way, okay? All right. Alrighty.
Mother's Day tomorrow, right?
Yes.
It is.
I think my mom likes going to that arts and crafts thing downtown.
Oh, that's right.
That's her thing.
That's
Every
right.
year she wants to go there.
That's right.
So it's an easy Mother's Day for me because I'm just like,
Let's go there.
pick out
Buy
a
you
little
something.
thing, buy you something, and then go
You
to
live in
lunch.
Kingman?
I do. Yeah.
I think you live over by Jenny, don't you?
No, I'm over by the golf course off Motor.
Okay.
Off Motor in LaSalle. I'm that corner house. You can see.
Yeah.
You can see my sheriff car. Yeah. I'm just turning it off.
I can't help it.